Hello, Passport Bros. Welcome to another exciting video brought to you by Passport Bros Adventures. Today, I would like to continue my daily vlog series of transitioning from moving to the United States to the Philippines. And right now, I am about, roughly 3 months before moving to the Philippines. And I am making a list of everything I need to do in order to relocate to the Philippines. And right now I've got about 20 items on my list. And let me know in the comments if you'd like me to share a copy of my list. It might give you an idea of some of the things you might need to do yourself. And some of them aren't exactly intuitive. So I think it might be helpful to many of you, but let me know in the comments your thoughts. But in particular today, I wanted to discuss having a long distance relationship with a Filipina and what her expectations are, right? So because this is a vlog for Passport Bros, I'm going to talk about female Filipinas. So I actually, here in about 18 days, I will have my anniversary with my Filipina. We will have been together for 12 months. And it's pretty crazy to think about it, how fast time has flown. So we met in April of last year. And at the time, I was talking to probably 100 different Filipinas. I was on Filipino Cupid, and I wasn't in a rush to get serious with anyone. I let all the Filipinas know that I'm not serious. I'm just looking for a friend, in part because I was separated at the time, going through divorce, and I had no intention of getting a girlfriend or getting into anything serious. But I was really just, I paid for like 3 months of Filipino Cupid just to test the waters and see what my SMV would be in the Philippines. And it was quite overwhelming. So within a couple weeks, I had over like 2,000 women reaching out to me, wanting to get to know me, which came as a bit of a shock because I've tried dating apps here in the States and it's like crickets, right? And I would say I've got average looks. I'm not like a model or anything, but that being said, I don't think I'm ugly either, right? So I would just say average. And to go from getting crickets on a US based dating app like I don't know what was the one I was using at the time. Anyway, it was so long ago I don't really recall. But if you're on dating apps, chances are you know exactly what I'm talking about. And then when I went on Filipino Cupid, I was inundated and overwhelmed. And I tried to respond to all the women that reached out to me, but it just got to the point where I couldn't do it. It was like a part-time job, just keeping up with all the women reaching out to me on the app. And the reason why you get a lot of women in the Philippines reach out to you is because Filipinas are allowed to open the account for free. And I think they can contact men for free. I'm not entirely sure on that, but they don't pay at all. And they can chat in the app for free. So, which is great because most Filipinas couldn't afford to pay for the app. I think it was like $100 for 3 months. So it was like $33 a month, which in the Philippines, it's a fair amount of money, right? So anyway, so I had 2,000 plus women reach out to me, and I wasn't looking for anything serious. Um, However, there was this one girl that stood out. I don't remember exactly what she said in her message to me, but and this isn't even going off of looks. I mean, yeah, she's beautiful, right? But it was something she said in her message to me that kind of just something clicked, and she stood out from all of the other women that were reaching out to me. And it was funny. She was using a translator, and her sister was helping her, who speaks better English. And her English, even though they teach English in school, she did make it a priority. And we could speak English, but there's a lot of words she didn't understand. And she would actually have to go to a translator and type it into this Tagalog to English translator um, to understand some of the things I was saying to her. But I don't know, there's just something about her that kind of set her apart. And then after I started chatting with her online, I would talk to a few other Filipinas, but I was more serious about this girl. And after we spoke for maybe a week or two, she really, really liked me, and she wanted to take things to the next level and wanted to be boyfriend, girlfriend. And I was hesitant because I was still married at the time. I was separated. I was living in a different house, but technically I was still married. So we and I reiterated that I'm not looking for anything serious. But I did tell her that I would stop talking to other women, and I think that was the main goal of her wanting for us to be boyfriend girlfriend. So I stopped talking to other Filipinas on Filipina Cupid, which I know some of you might say is a mistake, that I shouldn't limit myself to just one Filipina before I meet her in person. But there's, I don't know, it's very difficult to explain or describe. But she is an amazing person. Even though she didn't speak English fluently, there was just something about her that I fell in love with. And from the moment I stopped talking to other Filipinas, I've put all of my time and focus on her. And fast forward a few months, so we met in April. I flew out there in August. I got divorced in June, right? So the end of June is when my divorce was finalized. And I wanted to finalize the divorce before I flew out, and I met her in the Philippines. So I was maybe divorced about a month and a half before I flew out there. And when I met her at the airport, it was an amazing experience, but she was so shy. She couldn't even look me in the eye. And at first, I was getting a little self-conscious. I was head over heels. I couldn't believe how beautiful my girlfriend was. But she was having a hard time, like, looking me in the eyes, and like even like holding my hand was a little awkward for her. So I'm thinking, oh no, I just flew out to the Philippines to meet this girl, and she won't even, she won't even look me in the eye, right? And then, later on, she told me or confided that she was just, she was really shy, and she couldn't believe how handsome I was. And I'm like, oh, Okay, well that's a nice surprise. I It's much better than what I was thinking, right? I was worried that she she didn't like me, um, but yeah, she she was very shy. That's another thing that I really liked about her was she was not overly forward, and she was very shy. And when we would first video chat on Facebook Messenger, she would she would like she wouldn't even like sing, and there were certain things that she wouldn't show me on camera, and she was kind of embarrassed of her living situation. She was living with her sister in a small one bedroom apartment, and she was just really shy and not at all like a lot of the modern women in the States, where they're just very forward and aggressive. And it was a nice change. I could tell that she was very feminine. She's feminine, fit, friendly. Um, she's I can't wait to introduce you to her. So make sure you subscribe to my channel so you can meet her when I go back to the Philippines next time. We'll have many interviews in the future, but this is my side of things. And yeah, so we met in Bacolod, Philippines, and I think I was traveling for about 38 hours at this time, with between layovers, and I was exhausted. And so we went to a little dinky hotel and spent the night. Didn't have air con, no air conditioning. So, I was a little overwhelmed with the heat and humidity, because in Utah, where I live now, it's very dry. It can get hot in the summertime, but it's a very dry heat, not humid at all. So that took me a few days to get adjusted to it. So anyway, the following morning we went to Cabancalan, Philippines, where I was staying at a hotel called Rose Inn, Rozay Inn. I highly recommend it. Um, if you ever make it over to Cabancalan and you want to see the city, stay at Rose Inn. They'll take good care of you there. Very good people. So I was there for about 3 weeks, in which time I met all of my girlfriend's family, her immediate and extended family. So she's the youngest of 9. So there's a lot of family I met. And her family was very warm, receptive, and welcoming. And they were shy too. Um, and I'm like, hey, babe, why is your family shy? Why are they um, why aren't they like talking to me or looking me in the eye? It's like, number one, they don't speak much English. They speak Hiligaynon, is a dialect they speak. And she's like, well, they're a little shy because you're so handsome, which I'm not used to hearing, right? Um, I guess they would call me guapo, mostly because my skin is white, and I'm probably as white as you can get, with thanks to my Irish ancestry. So the fact that I was, I've like strawberry blonde hair, blue eyes, very light skin. It's considered very handsome in the Philippines. And I guess they were just a little embarrassed. It was almost like feeling it's the closest I've experienced to being like a celebrity, right? Everywhere you go in the Philippines, they'll stop and look at you, and like kind of wonder what is this foreigner doing here? They call us afam. Afam means foreigner, and if you're an Americano, they'll call you a Kano, Kano. Um, so yeah, that was interesting. Also, when we would go around and go to the mall or go out to lunch, if her niece was with us or any family members, they automatically assume because you're the foreigner that you will pay the bill, right? So just be careful. when you go out and travel in the Philippines and you have a friend or a girlfriend and there's a family member with you, the expectation is you pay for the jeepney, the travel, the food. You pretty much pay for everything, right? And they'll ask, is it okay if she comes with us? And what she's really asking is it okay if she comes with us and you pay for her, right? So if that's okay with you, yeah, I'd totally agree to it. But it might be a good idea to kind of set the boundaries of, well, she can come with us, but she needs to pay for herself, which is not their custom, and that could not go very well, right? So the nice thing is, depending on where you go, it's not very expensive. So you could feed 4 people in the Philippines what you could feed 2 people in the States with, right? So your money stretches much further. I think the currency conversion is like $1 to like 55 or 56 Filipino pesos. So it's very advantageous to you. Anyway, so yeah, I was there for about 3 weeks, fell in love with the food, the people, the culture. It is beautiful. I love the ocean there. Sitting or going swimming in the ocean, I just felt so incredibly peaceful. And, going through a very tragic and stressful time in your life, like going through a divorce, to be swimming in the sea in the Philippines, I just felt at peace. And I could just feel all of my stress just melting away. And I'm like, what would it be like to live here full time? And I think it was then and there. Oh, also, spending that 3 weeks with my girlfriend. Yeah, I know it probably was like the honeymoon phase of a relationship, right? And I don't expect that to continue forever, but she genuinely loves me and cares for me. She would cook, she would clean, she would sweep, she would do laundry, she washed my clothes by hand. She would take care of me. She would make me coffee in the morning. I didn't really have to do much for myself. I would help cook because she is shy, and in Rose Inn there's a shared kitchen, and she was too shy to ask the host for like the rice cooker or to cook there. So I ended up doing some of the cooking, but any of the cooking we did in the room, she would do. And yeah, it felt nice. I'm happy to, do 50-50 in a relationship, but as far as like taking care of each other, I think it was like a 70-30. She did 70% of the, caregiving, and I did 30%. And she was more than happy to do it. And we've had this conversation of, if we do get married, what are your expectations, right? Do you expect me to cook and clean and do the laundry and all that? And she's like, no, absolutely not. That's my job as the wife. And I'm like, okay, no, I agree. Now, what is your expectations of me being your husband? She's like, well, provide financially for us, protect, be the head of the household. And she basically said this in her own way, right? So it's very traditional culture value. So it very much feels like the 1950s there, before certain legal changes in America. So yeah, I absolutely love my fiance to death, and I am very excited about the prospect of spending the rest of my life with her. And I've decided to take an early retirement. Now, I do not have millions of dollars saved up, but what I do plan is to teach English online, part-time, maybe 20 hours a week is the maximum I want to spend teaching English. Now, if I if something happens and I need more money, of course, I can always ramp that up to like 30 or 40 hours a week. But at my age, I'm turning 47 this year. I want to enjoy life, right? And I don't enjoy working unless it's something I'm passionate about. And I'm passionate about teaching and helping people. So I think that those 20 hours I spend teaching English online will be quite enjoyable to me. But beyond that, I want to continue developing this YouTube channel, which just barely started. So thank you for watching. But also, I'm going to trade stock options. And if that's something you're interested in, please leave a note in the comment or reach out to me directly, and we can discuss one-on-one coaching. And my qualifications are, I'm a stockbroker of about 15 years, but I've been in the industry since 2007. So not quite 20, but rounding up 20. Very knowledgeable, and I can help teach you how to trade stock options successfully. And depending on how many students I have, we might just have like a group type setting instead of doing one-on-one. The nice thing about group setting is it will be less expensive, and I can communicate the same lesson to multiple people instead of doing one-on-one. It's one-to-many. And then if you want one-on-one coaching, I can offer that, but it would be obviously more expensive because I'm just dedicating all of my time to one person. But between YouTube, trading stock options, and teaching English online, I'm confident I will be able to enjoy my life in the Philippines. And that is actually what I would enjoy doing. It's that to me wouldn't feel like work because those are all things I love. I love teaching and helping people, right? So coaching people to learn how to trade stock options or teaching children how to speak English. These are all things I love to do. And this YouTube channel, I love sharing with people in the hopes that I can help someone else improve their situation in life. And I know I ramble on, but I genuinely hope that my vlog will help even like one person, because I've gone through the darkest night of the soul you can imagine, and I've come out, and I'm not fully healed, but I am so much better off than I was. And a big part of that is thanks to my fiance. She was with me through some very dark times. And for that reason alone, I've decided that she is wife material. If she could put up with me long distance and love me and be there for me and give me all the time and attention I could possibly want. And that's another reason why I know she genuinely loves me, is if she could, she would be on a video call with me 24 hours a day. And I'm like, why do you want to spend so much time with me on video call? She's like, A, I love you and I want to feel like you're right there next to me. And B, I want to make sure you're not talking to other girls. So at least she led with, I love you and I want to spend as much time with you as possible. And I told her, are you okay if we just live a poor and simple life? I am not a rich man, but we can be rich in love. And she's like, that's all I want. Just a simple house, have a simple life, and to love and to take care of each other. And I'm like, that's all I've ever wanted myself. So it's sad and unfortunate that I have to go halfway around the world to find it, but I would go to the ends of the universe for this woman. She is the love of my life. And no, it's not a perfect relationship. There are, like any relationship, it requires effort. There's some trust issues and some jealousy, and since she's young, she's 20 years old. She is still a little immature. And if you're watching, honey, I love you. I mean that in the most loving way possible. And I'm immature in some ways too, right? But together we feel like one person. And I hope that you can find a person, whether it's in the Philippines or here in the United States or wherever. I hope that you can find someone that has the same values that you have and that you can feel like a whole person. Because I've never felt like a one person, like a whole person in my previous relationships. It's always been, two people coming together, but we're still two people. But with my fiance, I feel like a cohesive one person unit. And, we complement each other. And quite honestly, I can't imagine my life without her. So please, please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. It's free. It takes not even a second. Just please subscribe. It would mean the world to me, and it will give me the motivation to continue making these videos and to document daily. Maybe not daily, maybe every other day. Depends on if I have something to talk about, right? I don't want to waste your time. Time's valuable. But I will document the transition step by step so that it can be a blueprint for you and to hopefully help you find the peace, tranquility, and the love that you desire. And I believe I found that with my fiance. And I want this channel to be dedicated to all the passport bros that are looking for love and for a partner that will love and respect them. And I dedicate all my videos to you. Thank you.